Hello, this is Mr. Basinger. Welcome. So today we're going to talk about literal equations and formulas. Topic is how to solve an equation or formula for a given variable. The central question is, what does it mean to solve for a given variable and how do I do that? Before we begin talking about definitions, let me show you an example. An example of something called a literal equation is something from the real world. V equals I times r. Notice I didn't put a time symbol, but it means times. This is a literal equation. Okay? Literal equation is an equation that contains two variables, two or more really. You might see 4, you might see 5, two or more variables. Okay? A proportion is an equation that relates two or more quantities. All right, so rewriting formulas. Solve the formula for the indicated variable. So D equals R times T. Notice how I said times. I didn't just say RT because I want you to remember that RT is times. R times T. It wants us to solve for T. Now who can tell me, real quick, what's the opposite operation of multiplication? Good. Division. Now, if division is the opposite operation, we need to divide on both sides because we want to get T by itself. Now, if we divide by T, what happens? Well, nothing good. T would be canceled out. And what are we trying to do? We're trying to solve for T, okay, which means to get T by itself, not get rid of it. So the only way to get T by itself here is to actually divide by the other variable. And remember why we're dividing. We're doing the opposite operation of multiplication. So R divided by R goes away, and we get T equals, do we remember what D over R is? No, we've never learned this. So we really just kind of write it out. D divided by R. And that is our answer. Nothing else to do. Let's look at W. Solve for W. So V equals length times width times height. V equals LWH. What operation is in between all these? Is it addition, subtraction, multiplication, division? If you guess multiplication, very good. It's multiplication. So to get rid of these, we actually have to divide. Now we're trying to solve for W, so we're not going to divide by W. We're going to divide by everything else besides W. So we're going to divide by L, not 1, it's L, L and H. And the golden rule tells us to divide both sides by that LH. So L gets canceled and H gets canceled, and we're left with W. So W equals V over LH, and that's our answer. All right, let's do this one. Number 3, solve for L. So we have this formula, solve for L. Okay, well, we're not going to divide by anything because there's a plus here. So we're going to do the opposite of plus, minus. And we're not going to subtract 2L. We want to keep the L. We're going to subtract the other set of things with a letter we don't care about. And the golden rule tells us to subtract both sides. So we get P minus 2W equals 2L. Because remember, we just got rid of this. We're left with 2L. Okay? P minus 2W equals 2L, not 21. 2L. And if P minus 2W equals 2L, what are we going to do? Very good. No. I'm trying to learn how to pause it. 1 second. Hold on, everyone.
I'm guessing we're not meeting. Is this how you do it?
Hmm?
Is that how you do it? That's pretty cool.
I'm interested in it. All right, back to the class. Because I didn't know how to pause it anyway.
You didn't pause it? Oh, that's awesome.
All right, so we have P minus 2W equals 2L. We need to get rid of 2 because we want to get L by itself. So we got to get divide by the thing that's not L. And we divide because it's 2 times L. The opposite of times is divide. So we divide by 2. And do the whole thing. And don't do any crazy stuff. The next step is very simple. And you guys are going to mess it up, so don't. P minus 2W. We're just writing down the answer now. Divided by 2 equals L. That's our answer. Ask your teacher now if you have any questions. Beep, 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 beep. Next page. So here we have to solve for R. So if we solve for R, we divide by the thing that's not R, pi, because it's times. So we got to divide to get rid of time. Remember, times and divide are opposites. So we get R squared now, because pi divided by pi goes away. So we get R squared equals A over pi. Okay, now we want to get R by itself. This square is being a jerk. It's blocking it up. So the way to kill it, the way to kill this 2, which is a square, is to square root it. Literally, square roots kill squares. So you do the square root on both sides. So we kill the 2 now. So we get R equals, it's very simple, R equals, and you just write out what you just put, square root of A over pi. You're not going to do anything crazy. Okay, we're not supposed to be crazy right now. So R equals pi, square root of A over pi. Now, for number 5, we have to solve for H. Okay, if we're going to solve for H, what does that mean? Well, we want to get H by itself. Okay, so if we want to get H by itself, we need to probably, just guessing, but we need to probably, I'm not guessing, probably divide by something, or we would divide by a b, but this 1/2 thing, we want to get rid of that 1/2 first. So let's actually do the opposite of 1/2, which is actually 2 over 1. See how I flipped it? So that cancels itself out, and then I write 2 over 1 here, but since it's 2 over 1, 2 over 1 is just 2 anyway. So now we have 2a equals bh. And how do you get rid of b? Because we don't want to get rid of h, we want to get h by itself. So we get rid of the thing next to it, which is multiplying, remember? And you divide to get rid of it. So you get 2a divided by b equals h. Here we have to solve for f. So we'll actually have to distribute first. Don't forget that. We're going to make it easier for ourselves. Multiply by the opposite of this fraction. 9/5 is the opposite. This will kill the 5/9 on this side. But whatever you do to this side, you have to do this side. So we have to do 9/5 on this side too now. So now we have 9/5 C equals F minus 32. Okay, now you probably guessed it. How do you get rid of a minus 32? Well, you add it. And golden rule. Add it to both sides. So 9/5, please no talking. 9/5 C plus 32 equals, well, we got rid of this 32, minus 32, so we just put F. And that's our answer. Ask questions. Ask questions.